Hello Aries, welcome back and Happy New Year. This is your yearly reading for 2026. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising sign, either sidereal or tropical, depending what you resonate best with. Let's have a look at these yearly messages for you. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on new videos that come out. And remember, Aries, these are general readings. If you'd like insights into your own personal situation, you can contact me via the links below for private readings. Aries, also, if you're interested in learning tarot, you can head over to Alkemystica, where we share esoteric knowledge and courses on learning tarot. Those links are below. Aries, so we are going to have a look and get a general overview and get some general insight into what's happening for you month by month in 2026. And then I'll take a final card to have a general idea of the energy for this year. Aries. Aries. Energy in 2026. Aries. Aries. Okay. So let's go ahead and have a look. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Okay, so month by month breakdown, Aries, what's happening for you? We'll have a look at this first, and then we'll have a look at the final card to get a general overview of the energy. So in January, Aries, there could be a situation that you're fighting against, that you're struggling with, some kind of fight, some kind of position or circumstance that you're in which you may have to defend yourself. This could be a push and pull, some kind of battle you're having to fight. This could be a situation which you're having to defend yourself against something. Aries, this could also be a situation in which you have to establish some kind of boundaries. You may be in a situation in which you have to establish some kind of boundaries with someone. You may be in a position in which you have to say no to somebody. But whatever this is, starting at the beginning of the year, it's a situation which you're having to fight against. There's some kind of resistance here, and there's an opposing force, something that you're either having to set some kind of boundaries with, you're having to defend yourself in some kind of situation, or you're struggling with something. Moving into February, Aries, there is an energy in February of growth, of some kind of an expansion. This could specifically be in areas of work or relationships, but there's some kind of growth here. There's also something that you may be learning or maybe setting some kind of framework for some kind of structure. It's starting to move forward. Something is starting to move forward, and it could have to do with something related to what you know, some kind of expansion, some kind of growth, becoming an expert in something, or learning to master something. But something that you're starting to solidify and manifest to bring into some kind of stability or into some kind of structure. And moving into March, this could feel stifling. Aries, whatever this is that you're trying to grow in February, you may be coming against some kind of block in March, and you may be doubting yourself. Aries, if you're in a situation in which you're trying to learn something or you're trying to master something, you could come into some kind of mental block in March, feelings that you're not able to do it, you're not able to learn something, you're not good enough. This could also have to do with relationships. If you're dealing with relationships, you may be going through a growth period in this relationship in February, and in March, you may feel stifled, you may feel blocked, you may feel some kind of limiting belief as if you're good enough, as if you're worthy enough, as if you'll be accepted, specifically in areas of relationships. So March is going to be this kind of energy as if you're limiting yourself, or you have some kind of limiting belief, or you feel stuck or stifled in some kind of situation. And it's going to require thinking outside of the box to have some kind of solution to get out of this mental energy, to get out of this mental block. But moving into April, you're going to be envisioning something else, Aries. And this could tie into what you have been learning or growing or expanding in February. So far at the beginning of the year, there's some kind of resistance, some kind of growth, some kind of block, and some kind of growth again moving into April. It's going to be a little up and down at the beginning of the year. Whether it's something that has to do with your job, whether it's something that you're studying, something that you're learning, some kind of skill, or something in a relationship. There could be some highs and lows in this relationship at the beginning of the year. Moving into May, there's going to be a focus on communication and possibly taking charge in some kind of situation. Also a warning not to be too hasty, not to rush into something unless you have all the information needed. May could be a month in which the energy is more frenetic, in which you may have to make decisions on the fly, something in which you'll have to think on your feet. You'll have to think quickly. You may have to take some kind of decisive action regarding a situation in May. And it's going to be a situation you may feel like rushing in. You may feel like rushing into this situation. But remember always to think first prior to rushing in. Moving into June, there could be a new beginning in June, a new experience, a new beginning. This could be a month to be adventurous, to be spontaneous. But again, coming back to May, to avoid rushing into something that you may not have the information needed, because June gives a little bit of warning of being the fool, literally, of getting yourself into a situation in which you may regret later. This could be being a little naive, for example. But it's also going to be a month, again, Aries, that the energy is going to be favorable for you to possibly take a short trip, to be spontaneous, to be carefree. Be carefree about something in the month of June. And take a risk. It's okay to take some kind of risk. Just make sure it's a calculated risk. Again, coming back here to May, just make sure that any risk that you take is calculated, that you have the information you need prior to jumping into something. In July, definitely seeing there could be travel here. So June may be a month in which you can take some spontaneous action that brings you into July, which could actually be a trip, could actually be traveling somewhere. Specifically for some of you, travel near water. This is also going to be a month in which you may be leaving something behind. You may be moving towards calmer shores, especially if in the previous months you rushed into something without thinking 100% of what you were rushing into. July could be a month in which you're abandoning whatever that is that you got yourself into. But definitely a month here, again, favorable for travel, favorable for leaving something behind, favorable to seeking a way to improve your situation. Moving into August, Aries, there could be challenges with communication in August. I am seeing a situation. The energy could be as if there's some kind of anger. There's some kind of frustration. This could be criticism. This could be sarcasm. This could be a situation in which you're easily angered. You're easily heated up. And there's challenges in communication here. So this could be outbursts of anger, for example. This could be being triggered. in some kind of situation or in some kind of conversation. You're triggered possibly to say the wrong thing or to get angry for no reason. So watch the energy in August, because there could be a tendency to lash out at someone, to criticize someone, to say something that you may regret saying later. And as we move into September, Aries, I feel the energy is going to change in September. I feel there's something major here that you may be letting go of. Something major or some kind of major change. Something that you may need to cut away in September. September could also possibly be a month for starting to do some deep internal work, Aries, and for opening yourself up to some kind of personal transformation. Because as we move into October, Aries, I feel you're going to be back on your feet. You're going to be motivated. You're going to feel inspired to do something. I feel you're going to get a burst of energy in October. And you're going to want to do things. You're going to want to get out there and be active and be a leader and take charge. October is going to be a take charge month for you. You're going to be back on your feet. So whatever August and September might bring, October is going to be a month in which you're going to be back out there taking charge of some kind of situation, which in November, Aries, for some of you, it could literally have to do with something legal. You may need to take charge of some kind of legal situation or some kind of legal battle. And some of you may be planning and organizing and ready to take charge of putting things back together, of balancing things out in your life. So if you've had some issues going on in August or September, October and November are going to be the months in which you're going to start to balance those things out again. Which, as moving to December, it's going to be more of a period of rest and integration and observation and reflecting on 2026. I'm seeing at the end of the year, December, you're going to be reflecting on the entire year, putting everything together, how the year moved on, what changes you made, what you've learned from during 2026. And it's going to be a period of integration, a month of integration, a month of truly absorbing everything that you've learned, the experiences that you've had in 2026, Aries. Messages that come through in general for 2026, again, some of you may be dealing with legal battles that you may need to take charge of. Some of you may be leaving something behind, whether this is a job, a relationship, a hobby, an activity, the place that you live. There could be a move for some of you. Some of you may be changing house in 2026. Some of you also may be feeling stifled in a situation or maybe doubting yourself. Some doubts could be coming up in 2026 regarding if you're good enough, if you can handle it, if you can do something, if you're worthy enough. And some of you may be searching for some kind of way out of a situation that you may feel stuck in. In general, again, there's going to be some major change in 2026, leaving something behind, balancing things out, and integrating those experiences in 2026 at the end of the year. So we're going to have a look at the overall message. What's the main thing to focus on in 2026 for you, Aries? Be your best self always, Aries. So again, whatever's happening in 2026, be the best version of yourself you can be. There's going to be some ups and downs, especially at the beginning of the year. Again, major changes, trying to balance things out. You may be leaving something behind. Try to take advantage of some of this more adventurous and spontaneous energy especially during the month of June and July. This could literally be a trip. But remember, there's going to be some ups and downs. There's going to be some challenges, especially with communication, quite possibly with anger, bouts of anger, lashing out, a situation you may feel trapped in, but you're going to recoup some of that energy and be back on top of your game towards the end of the year. Just remember, the overall theme for 2026 is to be your best self always, Aries. So those are your messages for 2026. Do let me know if you have questions or comments in the comment box below. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on new videos that come out. Don't forget to like this video and check the links below for additional readings or personal readings, and have a good week.